say before we hear from Michael that please don't come up to the microphone if you're not already there. We'll take all of the people that are lined up, and then we do need to get into our breakout sessions. And also to let you know that we're going to have 2 breakout sessions, and it'll be explained to you in detail, after which we'll have lunch. So lunch will be at about 12:40, just looking ahead so you can guide yourself accordingly. And so with that, Michael Rosenberg, thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael Rosenberg, founder and president of the Pets Trust. And I want to thank everyone here for their relentless, never giving up attitude to bring about in our county what 500,000 people do, which is to fund our animals with a $20 million dedicated source of funding. And I want to thank you, Dr. Levy, because you may remember back when we created this plan of action how to spend that $20 million, we decided to ask 31 national experts around the country how best to use that money. You very gracious and contributed a lot to that plan. That plan, it's there, and we're going to get it one day. I promise. The question I have for you has, I'll give you 2 numbers, and I want you to give me a third one. In Jacksonville, my research and talking to people in Jacksonville, they've been doing 40,000 spay-neuter surgeries a year. They told me they could do more if they had more money, but they do 40,000 spay-neuter surgeries a year, and their city is 3 times smaller than Miami. So the number that I'd like you to give me, if you buy some, I'll throw out a number. If you had $12 million, I know where I can get it. If you had $12 million, how many spay-neuter surgeries should we be doing a year in Miami to get ahead of the problem? Just a number.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm on several task forces that deal with spay-neuter and improving outcomes in shelters, and that is a number that we talk about a lot. And we have done a lot of research trying to look at Bright Star communities and what they're doing, and the number is not known. There are some communities that aren't doing much spay-neuter, and they're not killing many pets in their shelters either. And there are other communities that are doing a lot. I don't know any communities that are doing a lot and are not improving, so a lot does correlate with improving shelter statistics, but clearly there's more to it than that. And so we've got smart minds working on that problem, and they have not solved it. Now, Jacksonville, I will say, they're serving about 8 counties, so it's not the case that all of that neutering is happening in Jacksonville, because Jacksonville has become a bright spot community that has spread its good work to that whole region, and they're trying to sort of link up with us in Alachua County, and we want to be this sort of North Florida no-kill area, because we have a couple big cities and then a lot of rural communities that we think we should just absorb it into us instead of trying to teach them how to save their shelter pets. So I wish I could tell you what the magic number is, and we do have the same discussion all the time about how many TNRs do you have to do until there's less feral cats, and we just don't know.
Does 100,000 sound reasonable?
It sounds like a worthy goal. Would it alone reduce shelter intake? I don't know. It is the one concept that we don't talk about a lot is targeting. So it's critical to target your finite spay-neuter dollars to those animals most at risk for reproducing animals that are going to end up in their shelter. So honestly, if someone breeds Maltese, that doesn't panic me, because I don't see this bunch of Maltese in the shelter. Even if, well, I don't know. You can see a few, but they're not, there's not this Maltese crisis across the country. Chihuahuas, interestingly, like in California and Texas, they're overrun with Chihuahuas. In San Antonio, they're actually talking about doing TNR for Chihuahuas because there are packs of stray Chihuahuas. And they figure they can't really kill anybody, so just TNR them immediately. But, so we need to look at who's going to end up in the shelter. Some portion of feral cats, probably the tip of the iceberg, are ending up in the shelter. Loosely owned dogs, dogs in certain communities, dogs that have never been to a vet. Those are all risk factors for producing animals that are going to go to shelter. And that's where we need to make sure we put our money, because we don't want to put our money just replacing a paid surgery with a free one. Does that make sense?
I was hoping.
I wish I had the number 2.